Charlie Kirk's accused assassin Tyler Robinson was back in a Utah court today for a strange twist in the case. His attorneys are now fighting to throw out the entire prosecution team because they claim there is a conflict of interest for one of the prosecutors. Jesse Weber with us soon. His new show, Jesse Weber Live, right here on NewsNation, premieres next Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern. NewsNation correspondent Brian Enton, live in Utah, was at the hearing today. Good evening, Brian.
Good evening, Leland. Yeah, two really interesting things happened in court today. There were a lot of twists and turns. First of all, what you mentioned, the defense wants to throw off the entire prosecution team because one of the prosecutor's kids, an adult kid, was actually at the Charlie Kirk event, was about 80 feet away when Charlie Kirk was shot. And the defense is saying, wait a minute, this person is technically a victim, is technically a witness. This is a conflict of interest. How can the prosecutor or anyone on the prosecution team actually be fair about this? We need a whole new set of prosecutors. The judge has not made a final decision on that yet. The other really interesting thing today, Leland, that I didn't expect is there was this whole lip reading controversy. Basically, there's a camera in court you can see right there that was focused on Tyler Robinson at one point. There was a break. We came back and the defense team said, we want the camera thrown out because there are lip readers out in the public. When they zoom in on Tyler Robinson, the lip readers are trying to figure out what Tyler Robinson is saying to his defense attorney. In the end, the judge actually scolded the cameraman, the local cameraman, and now the camera, for now at least, can only be focused on the judge and the lawyer. We won't be able to see Tyler Robinson anymore, at least for now. Leland?
Wow, fascinating. In a change, certainly in the trial, you'd want to see the defendant's reactions. All right, Brian, thank you very much. With us now, Jesse Weber. What is this? Like, you know, if you don't have the law on your side, if you don't have the facts on your side, say that the prosecution is somehow conflicted?
So let's be clear. The evidence against Tyler Robinson is monumental. I mean, they have an incredibly strong case that he did this. Now, to be clear, it was the prosecution who told the defense, hey, we have a prosecutor whose child was there. We're informing you. The defense is running with it. I think this is a very uphill battle. Their argument is that not only did this taint the prosecutor, it tainted the entire prosecution team, and it may have influenced their decision. One of the things they seem to be highlighting is how quickly the prosecution moved forward with the death penalty in this case. And the prosecution said, listen, this may be a tactic. They may be trying to get this to another prosecution team, maybe even the AG's office, who may be more sympathetic and not move forward with certain aspects of this case. I think the judge is entertaining it. I think the judge is hearing evidence regarding it. And by the way, they spent a large portion of the day even saying, the Utah County Attorney's Office, can they even be representing themselves in this, or should the Attorney General? So this is going to continue on. There's going to be another hearing in February. I think it's a long shot. But again, when you have ballistics, when you have forensics, when you have surveillance footage, and you have all this evidence, there's only so much the defense team can do in a case like this.
Okay, so I think what you're pointing out is they're grasping at straws. Basically, the whole idea here is either how do we drag this out longer, or do we get a second bite at the apple of whether this is a death penalty case?
That's 100% the case. And, you know, they called it a delay tactic, the prosecution. There's a chance that this prosecutor, who is sort of connected to this, may be excused from the case. There might be, the judge said she should have been, this prosecutor should have been screened. But to throw out the entire prosecution team and start this anew, again, I think that is an uphill battle at this point, but they make a fair argument that perhaps, right, the idea that a prosecutor's child being at an event like this, highly emotional, and this is emotions running the prosecution team.
Forgive me, and I think sort of I would come to the point, like I would get it if it was a defense attorney, right, or a jury member, or even the judge, right, if the judge's kid or something like this. The prosecutors are the one who are trying to give him the death penalty.
Sure.
The defense is arguing that this prosecutor is going to somehow try to do something more?
So the idea is that a prosecutor represents the state, and they can't substitute their personal interests in favor of the state's interest.
Okay.
So if you go forward with the death penalty so quickly, like why did you go so quickly, they're saying that's a sign that they're having emotions running this prosecution, that he's not getting a fair shake.
Well, look, you know, can't blame a defense attorney for being a defense attorney. Everybody deserves an attorney. This camera in the courtroom thing, it seems as though that is something that is going to sort of be so important for transparency, and given this conspiracy theories and everything else swirling around Charlie Kirk, as loony as they are, I can't figure out why the judge would even think about kicking the media out of the courtroom or the camera out of the courtroom.
So first of all, 100% right. You're talking to somebody who believes in 100% transparency in courtrooms, particularly in a case like this when you have so many theories. But this is a legitimate issue. We saw this in the Brian Kohberger case as well. You can't have cameras in a courtroom that would unnecessarily prejudice the defendant, particularly since we don't even have a jury. So if you're zooming in on Tyler Robinson and you may be able to tell what he's saying to his attorney, a jury member might be able to see this. That's not good. And particularly when there's so much riding on this case and when you can make the argument the prosecution may be quite successful in getting a conviction, you don't want to do anything that would jeopardize this. So they're probably going to back those cameras up. As long as we see something and we hear the testimony, I think that's the most important part.
All right, fair enough. Big show. You ready for Monday?
I certainly hope so. We're going to be live. It's an important hour for NewsNation to be live, and I'm super excited. We got a great team. We got great guests. 11 o'clock Monday. Yeah, hopefully we're ready. I think we're ready. Look at that. We got Billy Bush, Chris Hansen, Alan Jackson representing Nick Reiner, and Karen Reed. So we got a lot on store, and I hope everybody can tune in.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.